Now, the only problem with that is it does make sieging a little bit difficult, but Lulu is very good at that too. So they've actually got quite a well-balanced composition here. Now, I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit starved of my memory because my memory is literally that of a goldfish and it's gone off the stream. I'm casting from the stream, so I can't remember what the other team's picks are other than Jinx and Kha'Zix.
I believe they had a Zyra, a Jax, and one more.
Yeah, Jax.
But I'm not sure what the last one was.
So a lot of this is actually going to be... quite a lot of this is going to be determined by how that top lane goes. There is obviously a significant problem for Jax, though. Even if he gets ahead of Shyvana in a one-on-one sense, he's still going to have to contend with the potential to get caught by the Evelynn and by Sivir ultimates on any other champion. So the split pushing is never going to be quite as brutal as it could be unless he gets to the point where he's confident in 2v1ing people. So Jax is only ever going to be strong pretty late on into the game, where he gets not only the 2 damage items you typically see, Blade of the Ruined King and Trinity Force, but he's going to need some defensive items as well, so he gets to be strong in the team fights. Now, that means C9 is going to take overall quite a long time to ramp up. They've got an AD carry that's slow to get strong. They've got a jungler that's okay early game, but really is strong in mid game and late game team fights. And they've got a top laner who's not going to ramp up for quite a while either. So with a lane bully mid, which is very, very strong at roaming, with an early jungler that can be incredibly dangerous if you don't get the jungle pathing correct on her, and with a top lane that's going to probably go even, at least for a decent amount of time, I say Departed has very good odds this game.
They certainly do, as we are right now rushing through Champion Select to get into the upcoming game as soon as possible. Now, before we head into that game, be sure to at least type !bet in chat, or click on the link just below the stream of Esports Venture, because if you do, you will be directed over towards that Esports Venture website, where you can bet on StarCraft 2, CSGO, and of course League of Legends, including the Challenger Series, the US Challenger Series finals. And if you do decide to go over to that website and sign up via the link we did provide you with, you will get an extra €5 bonus on top of your 10% bonus. So that is always nice to have. For now, however, it seems like we are almost going to head on towards the Rift. Any last thing you want to note here before we do so, Spuddington?
I just want to reiterate, guys, if Departed lose this game, they're out, they lose. C9 EU takes it home in a 3-1 victory. However, I really, really like Departed's chances this game. We'll see if it works for them in the long run, though.
We certainly are going to see that, as well, the Departed are taking their time with these picks. So I think we are just going to wait this one out, as Oduamna right now is going to lock in that very last champion. It is, in fact, going to be the Jax, as we did see earlier. For those of you who are asking, no, it was not a Cho'Gath. That was a placeholder for a Lulu, because not everyone has a Lulu, apparently. So, without further ado, the possibly last game of the US Challenger Series final could be coming up right here in another 3 minutes. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, get yourself something to drink, because this is surely going to be epic.
After they came and destroyed the land, there was one spark of hope left for all of mankind.
Transform your state of mind. Enter this mystical world. Transform your state of mind. Transform your state of mind.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the Rift once more. This is Cloud9 EU, Cloud9 Eclipse, technically, up against Team Departed, and Woolite may be about to depart from us.
Oh, Woolite is in a lot of trouble. Does a flash in the end. Grasping Root's not quite connecting, and he is going to be okay, but he doesn't have a flash, and that could be bad in the early game.
Especially on a severe AD carry who is squishy and lacking in escape, two words which are usually associated with first blood. Now, Cloud9 EU clearly feel very, very confident in this fight. They've got a really, really strong level 1 fight here. They've got 2 AoE CC abilities. They've got a Kha'Zix who is really, really good in that situation because he has very high damage for a level 1 fight. But, obviously, walking into the enemy jungle if they know you're there is very, very risky when you're up against Thresh. You can always get that hook. So it looks like they're going to just retreat. They'll take the flash, but they won't get the vision on Kikis, and that is important to them right now because if he is able to get some of the lanes snowballing for Departed, they have the potential to really, really hammer it home once they get an advantage.
For now, both of the teams fanning out, not really looking for the aggression. Cloud9's Hjarnan and Voidal, however, might be looking for an early pick in that Tribrush if they so happen to find someone out there. Kikis, starting off with the red buff, is not going to be in danger of dying there because Voidal and Hjarnan have already returned to their bottom lane. Woolite and Perm are heading over there as well, so it seems like, once again, no early aggression and a well, a first blood because of that, as we did see last game. And, well, as usual, Hjarnan and Voidor are just going to push out that bottom lane.
Yeah, Jinx, if she gets into the lane earliest, will get a pushing advantage, especially over Sivir, because she can zone her away with the massive range advantage, and her rockets will push the minions very, very quickly. So C9 will keep shoving in Woolite for a long, long time. Once Boomerang Blade gets up a couple of ranks, she can start clearing that wave in return. And at the moment, I wouldn't expect to see too much happen, but we will see probably a small farm advantage for the Brain lane.
That could very well be so. By the way, guys, if Spuddington is talking about the Brain lane, he means the Cloud9 bottom lane, because Hjarnan apparently means brain in Swedish. Now, we do have a hook on towards Voidal, who gets flayed back as well. He could be in real danger of dying here, but in the end, he reaches a safe distance, and Perm disengages.
You know, I always thought Voidal should change his name to the Pinky. For obvious reasons. For those of you who've seen the cartoon, if you haven't, then not so obvious reasons. But regardless, doesn't really matter too much. Hjarnan and NIQ are trading off in the mid lane, but there is a coup hanging around the top. Evelyn, meanwhile, farming to 4. Actually, looks like neither of the junglers are really going to do anything right now.
Yeah, so Febiven in that middle lane putting on the pressure on NIQ, who is one level behind. He's probably going to level up, but here is Kikis for a gank on towards Febiven. He might be looking to turn this one around. Febiven gets his passive popped, but it's not going to be enough for him to go down, and in the end he does go down. NIQ picking up the return kill 1-1. First blood going over to Febiven.
Ultra risky play there. You saw how close that Glitter Lance came to not landing, but it did land, and that actually gives them a huge advantage. Evelyn, she's got the Spirit Stone. She's not going to miss her buffs quite as much as she would in the super early game as she died. And Lulu with double buffs against LeBlanc is going to be a horrendous time for LeBlanc. It's a really, really hard thing to deal with at the best of times. And now she's going to have practically infinite mana and a lot of auto-attack harass to boot. So that's actually a really good situation for Departed. We'll see if Ku can manage to get a gank to happen, because it wouldn't be surprising if he tries to get those buffs back.
That would be logical indeed. Perm, that bottom lane getting slowed up. Hjarnan eating a Boomerang Blade. He's got those healing potions started to make sure he does get that heal from the missing health he did have from that Boomerang Blade. Now, Ku is doing something very interesting here. He is waiting in that brush to maybe find someone else if needed. Now, NIQ is getting jumped on by Ku under the turret. Ku takes a whole lot of damage from the turret, but NIQ did go down in the process. So NIQ are going to, or Cloud9 are going to be just fine. Hjarnan now being forced to pop that barrier in his own lane, but he will be able to survive.
Buff transfer complete in the mid lane. Odoamne wants to fight, but Kikis is there.
Ooh, Kikis is going to chase Odoamne down. Is he going to have enough damage, however, to finish him off? He doesn't have too much damage on his Void Spikes, so he stops the chase, and Odoamne also makes it out alive. Now we do see Ku and Febiven indeed heading over towards that bottom lane for Woolite and Perm. This could be very bad. Ku with the double buff. Perm really needs to do something about this. I don't see him surviving, and right now they switch their focus on towards Woolite. Woolite uses that spell shield to block a lot of damage. It is forced to flash in the end, and they do only get 1 kill out of it, but hey, it's still a kill.
Scooby-Doo Rot-Row situation arising there. That was the moment you see those two at that position, getting to Tribrush when their opponents are pushed right the way up, that you know that's a bad situation. So LeBlanc is going to be able to get back to the lane to farm most of the wave. She hasn't missed very much here. She's also probably going to hit level 6 before NIQ, and she will have her ignite not in time, I suspect. So maybe we won't be seeing that level 6 in all in, but if Ku's there, maybe so.
NIQ is certainly putting up the pressure in that middle lane, as he is forcing Febiven to farm under that turret. Febiven is having some trouble with that, but it seems like he's going to be fine because he's not in danger of dying there anytime soon. As we do see the Zamp being eaten by Woolite Spell Shield, he is going to be happy with the extra mana he gets from that. Ooh, Death Sentence almost connecting on towards Hjarnan. Not quite in the end, as we do see both Kikis and Ku heading over towards that bottom lane, which could be quite explosive if they decide to gank both at the same time.
Now, if Kikis manages to get Agony's Embrace, which he does now have, and they end up in a 3-on-3 situation, it would probably go the way of the Evelyn, because that's a really strong small skirmish ability. You can hit all 3 people with it, slow them all down to a crawl, and give Evelyn a massive shield, and give a load of damage over. So if they can get that to work, it could be really, really brutal. But it seems that Voidal smells a rat, and I think they're just going to back out.
I'm not sure whether Kikis has been spotted out, however. He is still walking around there. There is a pink horde in that brush, so that might give Cloud9 a reason to believe that they are about to be ganked. Now, Ku has been spotted out as well. Oh, he has been spotted out. Kikis hasn't quite been spotted out, but Woolite and Perm are just going to have and do without the help of Kikis. And on the other side, Hjarnan and Voido are not going to get the help from Ku, who has gone back. But we want that top lane. Babunia getting ganked by Febov, and Oduamna didn't quite manage to get the counter-strike off. Good flash to disengage from the ethereal chains of Febovin.
Gotta say right now, NIQ is having some serious problems being out-roamed by LeBlanc. Out-pushed and out-roamed as Lulu, which is really, really not a good situation. But he may be able to catch Oduamne with Babunia's help.
Ooh, great wild growth on towards Babunia. Here's Ku to help out Kikis using the Agony's Embrace. Gets chained up by the ethereal chains. Ku makes it out with the Void Assault, and it seems like there are no casualties that are going to fall because of that engage. And the blue buff could be in danger of being contested here. Oh, Febovin dives in, steals the blue buff, and gets the kill on towards Kikis.
Really, really nice play right now for Bivin, starting to get pretty out of control. He's 3 for 1 in this situation. He's building towards the Athene, so he's not going to have that absolutely ridiculous burst, but the Athenes is going to mean he can play the pushing game with Lulu without really, really starting to get pushed in horrendously badly. So we'll see if Ku is able to get another kill for LeBlanc here in the mid lane. She's got her ultimate again as of right now.
And IQ using that Whimsy to get out. Febovin dives in, uses the silence, and IQ will be able to survive it with a good dodge as he didn't get hit by the ethereal chains again. So 4-1 still for Cloud9. Ooh, Febovin could be trying his hand at this one. Once again, ethereal chains do connect this time around. Just one more distortion will do it.
Oh, the red.
But the red buff will be enough for Febovin to pick up the kill.
And I don't really see Kikis getting this. He was kind of hoping, I think, that Febovin might use his W to clear the wave there, and then he could just jump on him immediately, but just wasn't able to get that to happen. So, looking bad for Departed. Remember, guys, this is match point, and this Departed are the team that knocked Cloud9 EU out of the current Riot Coke Challenger Series. So, you've got to say, it's turned around significantly since then, most likely due to the re-addition of Ku into their roster, because he's really been doing a lot of work, and especially right now, I think, in the mid lane, because LeBlanc is very much tied to having other aggressive roaming characters to work with, because then they can both combine their burst and 100-0 people that normally they might not be able to completely burst down.
Okay, so Woolite and Perm in the bottom lane. Still farming up. Hjarnan and Voidal are well, still pushing that lane out, and Woolite is not taking too much poke, so he's going to be just fine with that. In the top lane, however, Oduamna is putting a lot of pressure on Babunia. Babunia, who is very, very tanky, isn't having too much trouble with it, but Oduamna is continuously pushed up, and I might see Babunia start to have trouble with that at some point, as we do see Perm falling very, very low. Kikis comes in there. Hjarnan being chased down at this point by Kikis, and I don't see him diving for too far right now. Boomerang Blade comes in. Hjarnan could be trying to turn this one around, but Kikis is a little bit too far away. Here's Febovin, however, dives on towards Kikis. They'll spot him out, but the Dark Passage will be enough to save Kikis, and he was out of reach anyhow.
It was a really nice engage by Voidal there, but they just couldn't quite get enough damage down. He basically saw that there were 2 plants already attacking Woolite, who was a little bit overextended, and just went in for the Stranglethorns for the buff on the damage. Oduamne got... Wow. Whoopsie. He just made a terrible mistake, but he ended up in the bot lane regardless. It was a really good engage. It just didn't work out because there was a counter gank available.
Okay, so Woolite right now pressuring Jarnen out of that lane. There are the Flame Chompers. Woolite does get stunned up, and right now Jarnen might be fancying his chances against him, especially because Ku is heading in there. Flash and the leap will get blocked out. There's a great Dark Passage to save Woolite's life. That was some really clutch play by Woolite.
Yeah, really, really good return there from Perm as well, getting himself in. But that does mean there's no AD carry in the area, although Jarnen is also pretty low. I don't think they're going to be able to contest this dragon. Speaking of dragons, in the top lane, Baboonia has actually now roughly caught up to Jax. So a kill in the top lane was actually a really great windfall for the team in general. Their team fighting is going to be very dependent on both Evelynn and Shyvana being significant damage threats and being fairly tanky. And meanwhile, there was a kill.
Yeah, Jarnen blew up Woolite with a Super Mega Death Rocket, which does do a deceptively high amount of damage, and if you don't expect that one, it can take you by surprise. So Woolite biting the dust with a courtesy of a great Super Mega Death Rocket of Jarnen's, who is going to be happy with that. 6-3 for Cloud9 Eclipse, doing work in pretty much all of the lanes. Febiven little ahead in that middle lane. When it comes to farm, in the bottom lane, they're doing great as well. The only lane that is a little troublesome for Cloud9 is that top lane with Oduamnen, well, just dying a couple of minutes earlier.
It is a matchup, though, where they've had an advantage for pretty much the whole game. I think it was just a misplay by Oduamnen, because he actually went for a dive and was trying to get the kill. Voidal Core!
Yeah, Voidal gets himself caught there as the Agnes Embrace does get a good Stranglethorns down. It's not going to be enough to save him, however, as he will have his passive available. Does get Perm in range and will be able to get a little bit of damage down on Perm, but that was a little misplay from Voidal.
Yes, indeed. So, I think at this point, Departed really want to be ending the laning phase. They've got the potential to make roaming plays happen, and actually Forbidden is looking for an NIQ.
Yeah, NIQ finds himself caught by the Ethereal Change. There's another Ethereal Change, and he does use the Wild Growth. Is it going to be enough? Being forced to flash out of there. Febiven tanking up this turret. NIQ just walking all over the place. Febiven misses, and he is forced to get out of there. In the meantime, his team did pick up that bottom inner turret, or that was NIQ's team that took down the bottom outer turret. There is a Super Mega Death Rocket, not quite connecting on towards NIQ.
Good eye by NIQ, though. He saw the rocket being fired from across the map. He wasn't shopping, he was looking out there. But Ku, once again, being smart, taking advantage of the fact he knows the mid laner isn't there. But will he be in trouble here? Because he may get caught between a rock and a hard place. Kikis knows he's there. Ku does not know about Kikis, but now he does.
Oh, Kikis gets spotted by the pink ward. Ku is going to try and finish him off, but Kikis with a good juke indeed to get out of there alive. Now Ku getting spotted out on his way out by a ward of Perm, but well, good juke there. Good feet work of Kikis.
Yeah, it was a really nice little ploy there. I think had he had Flash in that situation, he probably would have used it because he would have felt the need to do that. But I still like the fact he was able to get out even without using that. So, right now, Departed's bot lane tower is actually taking a ton of damage and is going to go down. And that's going to be Jinx can follow this up.
Oh, there's a Flame Chompers. Wula is going to have to turn around or take a little detour, and he doesn't have enough time for that. So Jarnen picks him up. Ku stood by to maybe make something happen, but, well, Woolite was dead already. Right now, Kikis might be looking to turn this one around. Smites the Golem. And Cloud9 are just going to stand here and stare at those members of the Departed. And IQ is there if needed for the Departed, but it seems like Cloud9 are just going to continue and push this one out.
They're essentially going to keep running this split push because as long as they can apply pressure across the map, they can put fight.
Yeah, there's the Agnes Embrace. Kikis does take a lot of return damage. However, there's a Super Mega Death Rocket. Gets cancelled out by Perm. Good void spikes from Ku to finish him off, but Ku is certainly going to bite the dust here. NIQ will be taking that kill home 1-for-1 so far, as Cloud9 doesn't seem to be quite done sieging here just yet.
Yeah, so now that I have regained the usage of my speech faculties, they fight again.
Yeah, Woolite goes down, and Voidal will be taking home that kill. Now, that means that the Departed might just want to back off here as, well, Cloud9 aren't done chasing or sieging just yet, and you might have another opportunity to speak here.
I'm not convinced. I don't want to start any points now. I've been burned too many times. And that was actually a really fun little exchange we saw there. Help Pix was on Voidal, who just run a mile away, but he still had to try and juke the Glitter Lance coming from the butterfly attached to him. But doesn't really matter too much. Kick is taking a ton of damage in the mid lane. And the point I'm trying to make here right now is that Cloud9, they are quite happy for this situation to continue indefinitely. They will pressure with Jax at top, they will pressure with their bot lane at bot, and they will pressure with LeBlanc in the mid lane, and then have her roam with Kha'Zix to wherever they feel they can most likely get a kill, that being top or bottom. And so long as they can keep the vision control and prevent themselves from being cut off in transit, that will work extremely well for them, and they'll be able to keep picking up kills.
Void Assault and leap on towards Woolite. Once again, the spell shield to block the leap button. Right now, they are looking to turn that one on Q. Great hook on the invisible Q, and down he goes. Right now, Febiven might be the new target. We did see a Dragon's Ascent coming out of Babunia. Perm gets locked up, not the target they want. So Cloud9 disengage, and so does the Departed.
Cloud9 have to be a little bit careful. Oh! Okay, so Cloud9 no longer have to be particularly careful. Jax is pressuring the top lane, which means Babunia has to go there. And without a follow-up damage source, they do not dare go aggressive, even with the Agony's Embrace and the Wild Growth follow-up. So it actually looks like Babunia is going to have to watch himself. Febiven has roamed very, very smartly here. They may be able to catch it.
The Ethereal Chain does connect. Is Babunia going to take enough damage to actually go down? Did use the Blade of the Ruined King, but he is not going to be able to save himself with that right now. NIQ once again, maybe trying to turn this one around. Here's Kikis to clean up as well. Janitorial duties for him. Voidal with a disengage. Oh, Flash comes out of Kikis to dodge that one. Once again,
the Frost
Slow
Queen
coming out of Voidal with the Frost Queen. Strangle Thorns. Kikis gets knocked up once again and again. Slow doesn't quite connect out of NIQ. Voidal locking up NIQ, and they stop the chase, or do they? Because they do get a good slow on towards Voidal, but he does have a little bit too much distance. Great flash out of NIQ. Maybe looking for the double kill on towards Voidal, taking a lot of damage under that turret. NIQ tanking that one up. Kikis takes home the kill. 2 kills for them, but in the meantime, we did see a kill coming down for, I believe, Hjarnan, who picked up Perm.
A showcase, though, of how far they can chase if they need to. This is why Cloud9 needs to keep their opponents pressed up against towers. Because once they're trapped against the tower, they can just keep sieging. They can keep forcing them into 1-on-1s and 2-on-2s where Cloud9 is stronger. The strength in the composition that Departed has in this game, though, is the fact that they can roam more effectively. They can fight in a way that gives them a numbers advantage, so they don't have to worry about the fact that individually they might be a little bit weaker. At the moment, though, they're still being pushed back. Babunia is still going to have a lot of troubles against Odoamne, and Kikis, he's finding some fights, but he's not really setting up huge kills. Right now, NIQ is almost roaming more.
Oh, he does have the Whimsy, but here is Febiven. Is the Whimsy going to be enough for Febiven to go down? NIQ takes a whole bunch of damage. Ku diving on towards him. Down he goes. Super Mega Death Rocket would have finished the job if he didn't go down in the end. Ku taking home that kill, or Febiven rather, taking home that kill 13-9. And, well, Cloud9 are in a very definite lead here. And they do have a 3-turret advantage. So it could start to get really, really messy here for the Departed if it wasn't messy already.
Yeah, and this is a game now where you just have to say vision control, vision control, vision control. They can't afford to keep letting themselves get picked off one by one as LeBlanc is continually doing. Now, Jinx may actually get picked off herself, but they didn't react quite quick enough. They didn't see it happen. And now it looks like they're trying for kill on Odoamne, but he's pretty strong right now. They're not even going to get it.
Odoamne stopping his recall, making sure he gets the extra farm that he wants in that top lane, making sure that farm or the top lane is continuously pushed up. Zap comes out, gets blocked by Woolite's spell shield, but I don't see this turret surviving. There's the Agony's Embrace and the Flame Chompers coming out. Kikis gets blocked and is sure to back on off. Right now, no casualties here just yet. Cloud9 keeps sieging here, but NIQ is there to back his team up if needed. Doesn't seem like there are actually any casualties that are going to fall here anytime soon. But we do see Oduam starting to hammer on Babunia. He's not going to get a kill, however.
Babunia is never going to fall behind enough that Jax can ignore his damage and just beat down on the tower. That is a situation that can occur in some Jax matchups. It's not going to happen here. So the parties aren't going to just die to the split push pressure too badly here, but they aren't really able to make any proactive moves right now. So it's just going to keep getting worse and worse in this gold situation as they lose more and more kills to people camping in their jungle.
Yeah, Woolite finding Ku and Harjarnen out, and right now with the Get Excited passive, they might be looking for Kikis here, who gets slowed continuously. Ku will be able to finish him off. That is two very, very easy kills, as they do find NIQ as well. Oduamne is going to try and chase NIQ down here, as Ku is chasing in, closing in as well. NIQ is very, very slippery, however, with the Whimsy, with the 70% slow, or with the a lot of slow. Instead, he is probably going to be able to get out, but not if he walks into the wrong position, and Ku is waiting for him.
Kiernan and Voidal are two-manning Baron. Babunia is right there. This is dangerous.
Oh, Voidal is going to pay the price for that. Uses the Strangle Thorns. Doesn't seem to be quite enough. One more attack will do it. He is ignited, but Babunia makes it out alive right now. Perm, the new focus, flashes the box here, and that is, there's a Super Mega Death Rocket, and that will connect. Very close, but it did kill him off.
Yeah, C9 are going to get this Baron though, so it doesn't look like the situation's going to get any better anytime soon for Departed. They are maybe if Kikis can steal it. He's got Agony's Embrace. He could jump in, do some damage, but he's going to get spotted out by the pink ward and burst it down, I suspect.
Oh, it does use the Agony's Embrace, and he is indeed going to get bursted down. The Baron is still very low. There's no smite here for that Departed team, and Baron goes over to Cloud9.
Alright, well, Cloud9 looking very, very, very strong at the moment. Now building up to the 14,000 goal at 24 minutes, which is, in solo queue terms, that's GG's Surrender 20, report my everything except me. But in this, in this kind of a game, obviously they're not going to surrender on it. There's a lot riding on it, and even if they don't, it still gives them experience in how to play from behind. It's going to be a very, very long road if they want to try to maybe get that 1 in 100 game getting back into this. Now, I've got to say, I can understand why Woolite's doing it right now, farming the jungle, because they know C9 just took Baron, and they probably aren't there again already. But it's going to be such a difficult game for them now. They've got to get the vision control, but walking into the brush, which they're blind in, is very likely to end in death. But I think they just have to take the chance.
Well, they might want to wait for Cloud9 to make a mistake here, because that might just be the only way they are going to get back in towards this game. Brick Passage gets thrown out. Kikis has actually been spotted out, but he doesn't go down just yet. Zap does connect. That's not going to get him down to lethal amounts of health.
Indeed. So, now comes the great defense. Woolite, he's very easily bursted by Forbidden if he gets on him. Gonna have to be very careful not to get caught out by Ku or by Forbidden or anyone. And that chance is going to come up every 20 seconds or so when Forbidden ult comes up. So it seems like it's just a matter of time. There is good wave clear though. If they can get a pick, maybe catch Yarnan at the start of the fight, or catch Voidal before he can use Strangle Thorns. Maybe if they can just keep clearing the wave, that could work out for them. But it's going to be so difficult. And even a tiny footstep wrong is death instantly.
Oh, Febiven using the distortion on Woolite, almost costing him half of his health, as Cloud9 are right now trying to siege up these inhibitor turrets. Woolite once again taking a huge chunk of health, as a huge chunk of damage rather, as Ku dives on him as well. Right now Kikis just got removed as Oduamne blew him up, both with Yarnan and Voidal. Right, Babunia gets locked up. NIQ is in a very, very bad spot here. Does have the Ignite ticking on him. Is it going to be enough? Perm goes down, but so does NIQ. Cloud9 rushing in towards his base. Woolite is in trouble, has got the spell shield on himself. He's going to get out of there alive, but the inhibitor has gone down. NIQ has actually left the game, and the GGs are getting called here. This might just mean, yeah, there you have it. Surrender vote comes out. Cloud9 Eclipse are your Chaos TV Challenger Series number 20 victors.
I feel that game that Departed honestly had a better composition, but they just fell behind to the early